to another episode of my podcast. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts, my little channel on YouTube and my corner of the general interwebs where I like to talk about knitting and sometimes crochet and books and sometimes TV and movies and other life and general chatty things that I want to share with you. Thank you very much for choosing to watch this video and spend a little bit of your time with me. I really hope that you enjoy it. Please settle in, get yourself a delicious beverage, and let's have a lovely visit together. So it is September now, and we've already had fall kind of weather, although it's more of a mild summer day today, so we're still transitioning, but it's not officially fall yet. It's the end of summer, but I have fall in my heart already. I'm there and so excited and feeling really inspired for everything. I just love this season, and so today my delicious beverage is some Yogi stress relief tea. It's a lavender and chamomile and honey blend, and I do really enjoy it. Let's get started with my craft project. I have officially begun finishing one sleeve, and I had the perfect size cable, and I had another set of needle tips that were the right size, so I didn't even have to put the stitches around the body on a holder. That needle is still in place, so it worked out perfectly and went faster than I thought. Although I just did this last night because it's been a busy week. So I only really got to this last night and did a little bit this morning too. Because it was a busy week. My sister came for a visit. Just one day. She came on Saturday, and there were other things. Just things that needed to get done, and yeah, but the week went well for me, so celebrating that. And today is Labor Day in the United States, so it has been a holiday weekend, and I am fully in holiday weekend enjoyment mode. So it's been a really relaxed day today, and just really happy. And let's talk about reading. And reading has been exciting because I don't know, I've gotten on a readathon kick. Maybe these readathons came at just the right time. I'm not sure, but it all came together, and at the end of August, I actually did a little readathon. It was a 3-day, just a weekend, the 1,000 Doors Readathon, which was hosted by Emma, Meg, and Tazmyn. I will put links to their videos down below, so if you want to check out more about that, you can find the links in the description box below the video. But it was kind of a choose your own adventure readathon with and you had your choice to start with any one of the host's first prompts. And there were many different paths depending on how you respond to the book that you read to get to the next. You read one book at a time, is how it works. And when you finish the first book for the first prompt, you go back to the video, answer a question, and depending on that answer, it'll take you to the next prompt. So there are many different paths that this quick little readathon can take you through. I'm not doing it quickly though. They're very relaxed about this readathon, and you're like, do it however, whenever it works for you. So I did not decide to keep it to the 3-day official time, but I have finished 2 books. The first readathon book that I did was Starless Sea. That was for my first prompt. And then for my second prompt, I read The Final Girls, because that prompt was a scary book. And I am currently reading my third book, and I'll talk about that later. But so I'm still kind of finishing that up in my own time, but that was kind of a warm-up. And September is the kickoff. We are now in a remade Magical Readathon. G has been hosting Magical Readathon for several years, although I never participated before. But it has been relaunched, and she has created, instead of borrowing another magical world, she is relaunching it, and she has imagined a whole new magical world that has room for both fantasy and sci-fi, although you can really read any genre. But the world that she created and the lore of it has a little bit of a mix of fantasy and sci-fi. Yeah. So this is the kickoff, and we're actually on the novice path to get to the magical school. So we're not started at the magical school yet, but this September is the novice path. And she commissioned art for this, and she wrote mythology and lore, and this is wonderful and so creative and imaginative. I really recommend, because she explains it, and you have to see it because she dresses in a costume for her character and everything. So really, it's best to get the details from G in her video. And I am also going to put that link in the description box below. So if you really want the details of it, you can get it straight from her. And but the novice path has 7 prompts, but you actually are only required to complete 2 prompts as long as you complete 2 of the prompts from the path in September, then you have made it to the Orilium Academy, which is the goal. And so technically, all you have to do is read 2 prompt books in September. That's not too intense. You can complete more prompts if you feel like it, and if you have the time, and if you have books that fit. So it's up to you how many you want to do. If you want to go beyond 2, I'm gonna see how it goes. I might just only do 2. I might be able to fit more in depending on how the month goes. And then the school, the actual Orilium school, is going to start. That will be another readathon in April 2022, so next year. And to build your character, you have until April to fulfill 3 prompts that will provide the background for your character. You do not have to do any of those in September. So you have plenty of time to build your character. Just 3 books before April 2022. That's not too strenuous. I don't think there's no reason this should be a stressful readathon. And I'm kind of excited about it. I'm already imagining my character. This is the last book that I am using to finish the 1,000 Door Readathon. It is also the first book that I am using for the Novice path, and that is The Snow Queen by Joan D. Vinge. And this was published in the 80s. So it is a little bit of classic sci-fi. And it is also a sci-fi reimagining of the fairy tale, The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen, which is one of a fairy tale that I really enjoy. And I am approaching 25%. I'm approaching 25% of the way through. That is where my bookmark is. And I am so impressed. I'm already like fully captured and really engaged with this book. The world building is wonderful. The writing style is really great. It's wonderful prose to read. Just a really detailed world, and it has a lot of mythology behind it, and really interesting themes of control over technology, themes of colonization. The people that live on this planet, and I can't quite remember the name of the planet right now, but there are, and it feels like they kind of live on different hemispheres, and one side is summer and one side is winter, and that's what the people call themselves, summers or winters. And the winters have a lot of contact with off-worlders because this planet is near kind of a wormhole. It hasn't been said exactly what it is, but I think it acts kind of like a wormhole, and it makes it easy for other people from systems far away to get there. And it has become kind of a vacation planet, really. And it has a resource that the people from the other planets like to trade for and like to take advantage of. So there's a lot of off-world contact, a lot of trade. There's a big city, a really big city called Carbuncle, where most of the off-worlders go and where the Winter Queen, the Snow Queen, reigns. But then on the other side, there are the Summers, who are very agricultural and very, they're very like religious. The Winters are all about science and technology, especially any technology they can trade for from the off-worlders, because this planet hasn't developed a lot of technology of its own. The Winters get all of their technology from the other worlds. That is part of this colonization process, which is a big theme, because the other worlds do not want this planet to develop its own technology, and there are a lot of restrictions. Anyway, so this is really, I am so happy about this book right now, and it is living up to the high expectations that I had. I got a really great recommendation for this book from the BookTube Goddess, and it is meeting all the high expectations that I had. So thank you for a fabulous recommendation, BookTube Goddess. And please check out the BookTube Goddess's channel if you haven't yet, because it is a lot of fun, and she is the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. So there you go. What more could you want? What more could you ask for? She really knows her sci-fi, and she also reads a good bit of fantasy too. She knows both really, really well. So if you love sci-fi and fantasy, definitely you really want to check out her channel. So that is one of the books that I started this week. I started 3 others. What? Yeah, this is going to be an amazing reading month, I can tell. I started Circe by Madeline Miller, which is about Circe, the from Greek mythology, the witch on the island that Odysseus, they stop at her island in the Odyssey. So this is her life story, and I have heard so much hype about this. So many people have read it. People recommend it all the time. I've really wanted to read it for a long time, but I don't know why I've just put it off. But I decided now's the time. And this is going for another prompt on the novice path. So when I finish Snow Queen and Circe, I can say that I finished my novice path at that point. And the prompt that I'm using Circe for is read a 5-star recommendation. And I fully, from all that people say, I fully do expect this to be a 5-star. And I am really enjoying it so far. Her prose is wonderful. I feel like I'm saying that about everyone these days. I've just been reading some really great books. I've been loving so many of the books and been reading new authors that I've been really enjoying their writing style. So I don't know. I feel like it's turning into a cliche, but it's true. Her writing style is so wonderful. I am no Greek mythology. I'm not very much into it at all, and maybe I was a little intimidated. But Madeline Miller tells you everything that you need to know. You don't feel lost. So that has been a relief for me, actually. I really do think I was a little intimidated by that. And then I started listening. My library had the audiobook to a novella that I've really been wanting to read for a long time. Well, not that long because it was released this year, but ever since it came out, I've been really wanting to read it, and my library had it available. I checked it out, the audiobook, and I am listening to A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers, and this is the first Becky Chambers I have ever read. I have been wanting to start reading any of her books, so I'm excited to be reading Becky Chambers. It is about a tea monk. Yes, a tea monk. Which, once I heard that, I already was like, I think I'm gonna love this. And there are also robots in this world. AI robots that build themselves or can build other robots. The first ones obviously were built by the people, but they were built so that they could build more robots themselves. And many, I'm not sure how long ago, maybe centuries, a really, really long time. And so people have actually started to forget about the robots because they haven't ever seen them. The robots left people and decided to go into the wilderness areas of the world and do their own thing and not have contact with people. And the robots have been in the wilderness doing their thing, whatever, for generations, for centuries, for however long, a really long time. And one day, a robot wanders out of the wilderness onto a road and approaches this tea monk and asks the tea monk, "What do you need?" So this this is a very, I think a word I've heard to describe this genre, and Becky Chambers and other, she's not the only one that writes this, but there are others that do similar thing in speculative fiction, but the genre of hope punk. So this is a very like sweet and cozy, hopeful, calm and reflective book. A short book. It's a novella, which was part of why I thought it would be perfect for right now in September. And I don't expect there to be much plot at all. It's just very cozy, reflective, contemplative, hopeful, positive, hope punk. And this is supposed to be the first in a series, so I don't know. There may be more to come, but I'm just a little ways in. A little over an hour. It's 4 hours total, so I'm about 25%. And it is so relaxing. Oh, the perfect thing to listen to before like going to sleep. The last book that I started is a NetGalley ARC that I did get approved for a while ago, maybe a month ago, but I'm starting it now. And it is A Coin for the Ferryman by Megan Edwards. And it is a time travel story. And it is about what if they went back in time and brought Julius Caesar to modern day. Yeah. I'm like, so I don't know, with my Greek mythology and now like Julius Caesar time travel, I'm all about the Greeks and the Romans right now. I am not very far in it, but so that's about all I can say, but it's, yeah, so, 4 new books, and I do fully expect very soon to start my next Robin Hobb. I'm going to be doing a buddy read with Blue Black, who is a viewer that has left comments on videos, and in a comment, Blue Black asked, "Hey, I'm gonna finish Assassin's Apprentice soon. Do you want to buddy read the next one and buddy read the series?" And I'm like, yes, and yes. So that will be happening soon. And Blue Black, if you watch this video, whenever you want to start, just give a comment. Let me know. I already know my library has it. I have the audiobook on hold, but I can also start the library's ebook. So, yay! Yay for buddy reads. And Snow Queen is also a buddy read with another online friend. So it's all about read-alongs and buddy reads right now. And love it. I love it. I'm in the mood. I'm ready for it. It's going to be a great fall season. I can feel it. I can feel it. Let's see, I'm going to take a quick glance down if there's anything else in my notes that I need. Oh, yes. I started a whole bunch of books, but I did finish one book. I finished The Final Goal Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I already mentioned that was my second prompt in the 1,000 Doors read-along or readathon. But it is my second Grady Hendrix book that I've read, and this book is it's talking about slasher movies, and so it's a slasher style horror, and there are a group of women who in their youth were final girls. They survived mass murder massacres and were the only survivor, and they also all killed the killer. That's kind of the rule for being a final girl in this book. You have to survive, but you also have to kill the mass murderer. And for like 16 or so years, they have been secretly meeting with a therapist, facilitator in a support group. And all of a sudden, one of them is murdered, and there is another mass murder at the camp of one of the original massacres. So somebody is targeting all of it. Soon becomes obvious that they're all targets. Somebody is trying to kill all of the final girls, and we follow one of the characters. It's one point of view. We follow her as she goes on the run, tries to survive, and also tries to help the other final girls. It is intense. It is over the top, just like the slasher films are over the top. It's not realistic. It's not very believable. But slasher movies aren't about being grounded and realistic either. So it is making a lot of commentary about the slasher movie genre and the tropes, and so there's satire and commentary, and there's also a lot of talk about trauma and how survivors deal with their trauma, and all of these final girls have dealt with their trauma in very different ways, and they have very different coping mechanisms, and some of them have moved on a little bit, some of them have been maybe moved on a little more, and some of them have not been able to move on at all. So it really it was good. It was intense. It was really, really, really violent, which you would expect. I mean, it's a slasher, so that's what it is. So, but I liked it. Yeah, and there is some humor. I thought that the satire and the humor worked better for me in Horror Store. That was the first Grady Hendrix. So this was the humor didn't catch me as well in this book, but for me, the thing that was the funniest was the dynamics when the final girls were together. They really, it's kind of dysfunctional dynamics and between all of them and all of their different ways of dealing with things and their different responses, and how they their dynamics when they were together. For me, that was where the humor landed. But yeah, it was good. I just wanted to keep reading. It pulls you through. It really pulls you page to page to page. So that was The Final Girls by Grady Hendrix. And with that, I think we've come to the end. I hope that you are well. I hope that that you're enjoying what you're reading. If you're working on any creative projects, I hope that those are taking shape the way that you envision them. And talk to you next time. Bye-bye.